What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon, NBA DFS video. It is Saturday. It is February 8th. We are back. If you've never been here before, we do things a little bit differently. Anytime we have a minimum of 5 games on the slate, we've already ran 10,000 simulations. We've got 3 top, 3 mid, and 3 value picks at each position. We still do have quite a few people that are on the game time decision or questionable tag. So the value picks, they are there as a starting point because 9 times out of 10, they will update and change throughout the day. So that is why I tell you, go check out everything we have under the NBA tab. Right here, you've got Vegas odds, you've got pace of play, NBA bets, fantasy points allowed by position. We've got it all there. We've got projections and simulations along with a cheat sheet. And on that cheat sheet, we do have a couple of optimal lineups for you guys to start your journey. So I did tease in yesterday's video that we would have a coupon code or a promo code for a yearly pass. So it's $10 for a week. It's $30 for a month. It's $200 for a year, or it's $500 for a lifetime pass. And because we are so excited that NFL is almost done. Not excited NFL is almost done, but that means MLB is on the horizon. I'm putting coupon codes in play for a yearly pass. Get $100 off using the promo code MLB is back. That's MLB is back. All one word, all capital letters. So if you want to check us out for a week and you like it and the promo code is still active, meaning not everyone signed up for it, you can use MLB is back. So that being said, support the channel by liking all of this, watching the entire video, going to our Discord down below. We also have giveaways every single video. There are 2 ways possibility every single time. Here's the first way to win. You got to like the video. You got to be a subscriber to the channel. You got to leave a comment on the video. If this video gets at least 50 likes by lineup lock, main lineup lock, you will have a chance to win a free week of FTA Plus. 100 likes on the video is a free month. 150 likes is a free year. 200 or more likes on this video is a lifetime pass. Now, it is Saturday. We didn't even hit 50 yesterday, but Saturdays, you guys have been killing it for us. So what I'm going to do is if this video gets 150 likes, I'm going to give away 2 lifetime passes. Not 1 at 200, but 2 lifetime passes at 150 likes. So let's like it up. Also, towards the end of the video, after we do all the projections that we're going to put on here, you can check out the article down below. It'll have more projections on what we're going to talk about. But we're going to build a DraftKings lineup, a FanDuel lineup, and even a Yahoo lineup. These are early lineups that we've built. They will change throughout the day. Like yesterday, I put in there I loved Giannis, but I thought he was going to be out. Or if he was out, it would obviously open up. And he was ruled out pretty late in the day, like 45 minutes before lineup lock or something like that, I think. Or at least that's when my phone went off. So they're very early builds, but they're a good starting point for you. So we're going to see who the winner of yesterday's video, the second way to win. There's a keyword that I'll say somewhere in the video. Listen for the keyword and type it in. Now, we did not hit 50 likes on yesterday's video, but we are going to do the random.org or the commentpicker.com to see who had the correct comment of the keyword, which was ice. So this will be a free week to Steven. Congratulations yet again. Now, Steven has been here since baseball season or even before baseball season. He's won multiple times. You guys can too if you come back. So Steven, email me dfshelp1@gmail.com and let me know your username on the site and we'll get you your free week. So that being said, there are a few teams that are on back-to-backs like Atlanta, Washington, like OKC, all those big guys on back-to-backs. Now, be cautious with that because sometimes they don't really live up to their hype or projections on back-to-back. Second game of back-to-back, that is. And some people are questionable. They may be out. We'll see. We'll definitely see. So looking at the early projections, 3 top picks for point guard. We're looking at Shea Alexander, SGA. We're looking around 53 to 55 fantasy points out of him. Looking at Devin Booker, about 44 to 48. Jalen Brunson, about 42 to 45 fantasy points. Now, here is the mindset of how does this make it value picks? How do we break it down to make you a better DFS player? Well, when we look at value picks, we're looking at 5K or under and around minimum 5 to 5.5 times value. Mid-tier picks are about 8K. 8K or below on DraftKings. Some other strategies that we use here on the site, and you guys have as well and told me about it in our free Discord, which you can find down below. Pace of play is huge. Vegas odds are huge. Implied team totals are huge. So yesterday's slate had a ton of games that were double-digit like favorites. So we looked at value plays in those games, and it came through for us. So let's see what we can do here. So mid-tier here, we're looking at Scoot Henderson right around 29 to 30 fantasy points, Chris Paul about 28 to 30, and Cole Anthony about 26 to 28 fantasy points. And then some sort of value, if he plays, Mike Conley, 23 to 25 fantasy points, Luke Kennard about 20 to 24, Tyus Jones against Denver, 26 DVP, about 20 to 24 fantasy points. Now, like I said at the beginning, the value picks here most likely will have changed by the time maybe you watch this video, if you watch it later on in the day. I say that because we're still waiting on a ton of news of players to go out. So that is why I always tell everyone, go to the website when the main slate locks, check about 2 hours, 1 to 2 hours before lineup lock. That's when we'll have updated projections, updated simulations for as much news as we possibly can. They're not automated updates, so if someone's ruled out 5 minutes before lock, the simulations aren't updated that quickly. But I did want to kind of mention that out there. Okay, looking at the shooting guard position at the top, Anthony Edwards. Now he's got the questionable tag. Whether or not he's going to be questionable or actually miss it, we'll see. He's only missed one other game, and I really like him. I'm looking projected early, not the best DVP matchup for him, 4th DVP, but 47 to 50 fantasy points. We got De'Aaron Fox, his second game with San Antonio, just put up a 50-plus burger. First game, about 40 to 44. And then Jaylen Brown against the Knicks, 10th DVP, about 39 to 42. Mid-tier, we're looking at Anthony Simons, about 32 to 35. Derek White, about 32 to 35. And Michael Bridges, about 31 to 34. And then trying to find some value down here at shooting guard tonight. In this range of 5K or below, you can see like questionable, out. Like that's where we're kind of at. But if we're getting a little bit lower, I'm looking at Corey Kispert against Atlanta, 29th DVP. I like that matchup for him. Again, second game of a back-to-back, just like Atlanta has. 24 to 26 fantasy points for Kispert. Grayson Allen, about 23 to 25. Buddy Hield against Chicago, 17 DVP, about 23 to 25 fantasy points, early projections out there. The other thing with the value plays, they're value plays because they're low priced. And what that means is they're most likely not considered a starter. So they're coming off the bench. So minimum bench minutes we kind of need 20 minutes unless that player's getting like 15 minutes and they're getting like 2 fantasy points per minute. That would equal out a little bit. You're at least looking at 1.1 fantasy points per minute at the bare minimum. But yeah, when you're paying almost $13,000 for Jokic, he's got to get basically minimum 75 fantasy points to pay off his price. Unless you pay up for him and you get value plays and then they just absolutely go off for no reason. So it's always a conundrum that we have. So looking at small forward, we've got Jason Tatum right around 46 to 48. Franz Wagner about 40 to 44. Jalen Williams against Memphis, 16 TVP, about 39 to 42 fantasy points. Moving down the list, mid-tier, not a ton of you can see, big at Jason Tatum, 8,300, 81, 8,000, then it just drops. So looking at some value, if Jimmy Butler plays this game for Golden State, is he going to? Gets to play against his former team. 21st DVP against Chicago, projected 37 to 42 fantasy point range. Michael Porter Jr. against Phoenix, 32 to 35. Devin Vassell, right around 30 fantasy points is what we're looking at of him. And then value, we come down here, we look at some of these plays. Again, dependent on who gets the start, but Harrison Barnes, 24 to 28. Aaron Wiggins, 23 to 25. Royce O'Neal, about 21 to 24 fantasy points. Then we've got the power forward position. And before we get to the power forward. We are going to use the keyword for Saturday, brewski. Hopefully you're going to have, or had a, depending on when you watch this, had a great Saturday so far, and hopefully you toasted it to some brewskis. Because we've got the Super Bowl on Sunday. I'm very excited about it. Already got the wings, gonna smoke them, then air fry them, get them all crispy boys, and get my favorite sauce on them. Just have some fun. Watch all the Super Bowl commercials because I have not watched one of them yet, even though they leak. Question of the day, do you think it's stupid that the Super Bowl commercials are no longer the Super Bowl commercials because they come out 2 weeks before? Personally, I do. What's the point? I digress. So, that being said, we are at the power forward position. Kevin Durant is questionable right now, about 45 to 48 fantasy points. Jaren Jackson Jr., JJJ, Triple J, 40 to 42. We've got Paolo there against San Antonio, 22nd DVP, about 39 to 42 fantasy points. Move down the list to what I'm looking at. Again, you can use power forward or center for most of these guys. But Chet Holmgren, about 37 to 40. Naz Reid, about 32 to 35. Draymond Green, if he plays. Now, I don't know how it's going to be affected by Jimmy Butler being in here, whether or not that takes some shots away from him. But if Draymond can keep some pace and get 30-plus minutes, 25th DVP for Chicago, we're looking about 27 to 33 fantasy point range out of him. Big range there it is right now. Simulations got it. Then trying to find some value here, depending on where you want to go. Jeremy Sokin, you can soak on the... No, I'm just kidding. Against Orlando, not the best matchup. First DVP, so really bad. The worst matchup he could have. Right around 21 to 24 fantasy points. Patrick Williams, about 21 to 24. And Keldon Johnson, about 20 to 23 fantasy points. You can see it kind of just drops off pretty drastically there. Now, Jokic, going up against Phoenix, okay? Splits-wise, he's faced them twice this year. He's only averaging 49.4 fantasy points per game against them. He is 12,800. Got him projected at 62 to 65. That is not enough for his price. I don't know how much we're going to pay up for him. But again, we've seen 66.5, which isn't enough at 12.8. 70, 70, 83. Like, we know he's capable of 99 against Sacramento. But his price is going up so high, he has to hit so much unless way more value pop up. So we'll kind of wait. We'll kind of wait there and see what we like to go. So we don't always get, I want to preface this by saying we don't always get calls right. Like, obviously projections and simulations can only go so far. But a couple of people questioned me in Discord last night. Jordan Poole was one of our core plays. Just because the game script said they, playing from behind, if he got to stay in the game and be, a part of it and kind of try to keep the game close, where could we be at in that one? And people were like, why would you pick him? Blah, 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 blah. His price was good. He put up 60 fantasy points. I think he had 45 real points. Yeah, he had 45 real points. So he put up 60. And on DraftKings, he was... How much did he cost? 6,800. Yeah, 22.59%. And he was one of our core plays. So a cheaper core play there. We're not going to get it 100% all the time. But let me know if you guys use Jordan Poole. And how did you end up yesterday? I would absolutely love to know it. Like, there's sometimes I'm right. And when I'm right, people have loved it. And they've cashed big. And they've tipped us. And if you feel like that, that is completely awesome. If not, I completely get that. But I digress again. So we are looking at the center position. Now, Jokic at 62 to 65. Probably not enough, but we'll use him a couple of times. We got Wemby at about 53 to 55. Karl Anthony Towns, who does have a questionable tag. Trying to see, but he's probable. Game logs played 4 days ago. Splits, he's played Boston once this year, only got 25.8. So if the game stays close, I could see this projection. But we got about 46 to 50 range out of Towns. Let's just hope his questionable tag kind of sticks around there. Looking at some mid-tier options, Nikola Vucevic. Now, he did screw us over a few games ago. Projected 39 to 42. DeAndre Ayton, right around 34 to 36. Isaiah Hartenstein, about 34 to 36. And then if we come down here, I do love a Kongwu. Do not get fooled by this. This is off opponent rank, not DVP. A lot of people think that is DVP. But I do like a Kongwu. He's got the best matchup of all centers, 30th against Washington. I love that matchup for him. But if we're looking at some value further down, 5K or below, looking at Zach Edey right around 24 to 26. We're looking at Jalen Williams for OKC, 18th DVP against Memphis, about 21 to 24. And then if he gets some run, I don't know how it's going to look with Jimmy Butler being back, but Kevin Looney, 21st DVP against Chicago. We also have Quentin Post, about 20 to 24 fantasy points for both of those guys. So depending on who gets the run and gets the minutes and starting, we could see that being there. Now, those are just some of the plays, some of the simulations. If you want to see even more, go check out fantasyteamadvice.com. This article will be linked right down below. You guys can check that out and let us know what you thought. Let me know some of your favorite plays today, whether or not you have are looking at a different direction, or maybe there's a play we didn't even think about. And if that's the case, let us know about that as well. I always love to hear different sides. We are trying to make you better DFS players. Yes, we have a product for sale, but we also put a ton in. When I say we, it's me. I put a ton into this. These videos, our MLB videos, they go for like 45 minutes a day. It is crazy, and we basically touch everything there. So if you want to see how our MLB videos are, go check out our playlist. Go check out just middle of the season last year. We really got on a roll, and we really loved it. Now, when we build these lineups, these are tournament only. DVP, looking at pace of play, over-unders, implied team totals, basically everything. But they are GPP. They are not for cash, and they can and most likely will change somewhere down the line today. And then one of my favorite plays today, Shea. We got SGA there. So an early build, pause the video and check it out. Okay. And don't forget, we do have MMA content on the site. It locks at 5 p.m., so an hour before mains, I believe an hour or 2 hours before main slate locks here on DraftKings for NBA. But we do have MMA. We've got our simulations. We got our cheat sheet. Cheat sheet also has optimal lineups on it as well. So that being said, that is our DraftKings lineup. Our FanDuel lineup's already built, so check that out. Kobe White all the way down to a Kongwu, paid up for Jaden McDaniels, paid up for De'Aaron Fox, Devin Booker, and we tried to find some value there. So pause it. Good to go. And then some people do play Yahoo, so we have a lineup there, so pause that. Check it out. Those are your lineups. We were able to fit in Nikola Jokic there. So Jokic was able to get in there. But then it did really take away from some of the other positions. Like we had to go with Scottie Pippen Jr. We had to go with Nick Richards. We had to go with Isaiah Joe. So I don't know if it's feasible to pay up for Jokic here. And this probably will change sometime throughout the day. So that's what I've got. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you had a great time. Have a fantastic Saturday, whatever you're doing, or depending on how late you watch this video. Hopefully you had a great day. Let's have a great Saturday with NBA. Let's have a great Saturday with MMA. Tomorrow we've got the Super Bowl with the showdown and the optimal lineups. And then NFL's done. Daytona 500, I believe, is next Sunday. We've got the NASCAR. Pitchers and catchers report in less than 2 weeks. Then we've got games for just a little over a month. Then we've got the regular season, and I cannot wait. So let's have a great NBA slate, great end to the NFL, and cheers to the beginning of MLB in a month and a half. What I mean by that is, again, use the promo code MLB is back. Get a yearly pass for $99 instead of $199. Let's have a great day. Good luck, and as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace!